So the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and yeah, we took some hits. Got all excited about Minnesota winning, and then Denver decided, hey, look, we are the champs. This is why we're the champs. This is also why you never underestimate the heart of the champion, as Rudy Tomjanovich once said. Talk about the heart of the Boston Celtics, possibly them not having the heart of a champion. We talk about the New York Knicks and how they're pulling this off with duct tape and chewing gum, and just where they can go, what the Magic should do, what teams should do in the draft, just what is the worst draft, as this draft is shaping up to be for the NBA draft. The Hawks won the lottery, and I don't think anybody really cares. And if you like what we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on iHeart Podcast, on Apple Podcast, on YouTube. Leave us a comment. We'll get back to you. Also, don't forget we have a Patreon account, Sandlot Sports. The money that we get from our Patreon helps fund the podcast, helps keep us going. Welcome to the More Sports Podcast in Sanford, Florida. This is Sandlot Sports. I am Adam Capperson. I'm here with Dorian Cody.
Yo, yo.
And an equal opportunist, BJ Thomas.
Equal opportunity. All of you can get it. I don't give a shit.
And speaking of getting it, the Pacers are getting it badly. So last I saw, they were down by 22. So I was of the opinion going in today that the Knicks were out of gas with Anunoby being out, Bogdanovich being out, Randall being out, and Thibs playing everyone 45, 48 minutes a game. I figured that they were just going to come and short arm everything. I was wrong.
You were also trying to back the dump truck up to the Nuggets, too.
Hey, I still have my Nugget stock.
Now who's in trouble?
Yes.
I'll tell you, I can't remember who it was today, but it was one of the talking heads, and he said they screwed up by letting them win 2 games.
They screwed up by letting them win game 3.
They have made a mistake. Yeah, but now that it's even, it's 2-2. Huge mistake.
No,
you can't give the champ a puncher's chance.
No,
You can't do that.
And I will argue that you should not have let them win game 4. They shouldn't have let them win game 3. They should have come out game 3, put the throat on their neck, and beat them by 10 or 15. Just put the series out of reach.
I would just like, before they get a hold of you on Reddit, the throat is already on the neck.
The boot on the neck. How about that? Is that better? There you go.
Okay. So one thing that I noticed about the game is like the Timberwolves, they're not as aggressive against Jamal Murray as they were in game 1 and game 2.
Well, I think they are. I think Murray is moving better. Because don't forget, he got hurt in that Lakers series. And I think in games 1 and games 2, he was still feeling that injury. Because remember, he was not supposed to play game 5 of the Lakers series.
Right, that's right.
So I think he has finally kind of gotten over what he had. And it shows. Because if you watched game 4, McDaniels was all over him.
Yeah.
And I was watching one possession, and I was like, holy fuck, McDaniels is going to be out of gas just one possession. Yeah. And draped on him like white on rice, and Murray still made the shot.
Yeah, I saw that. And also too, Joker, I think he finally woke up and realized, hey, I may not be as tall as Gobert, but I'm thicker than him, I'm bigger than him, and I can just push him around. And he just pushing him around like he was doing Anthony Davis. He's literally just pushing him around, getting rebounds and scoring.
I was listening to, Bejo was talking about the talking heads. I was listening to one on the way home today, and they were talking about the Minnesota Denver game. Now we're gonna talk about this, watch Minnesota blow them out. But they were like, Karl Anthony Towns needs to show up. I'm not worried about Rudy Gobert showing up because I know he's not going to.
I mean, he's just getting pushed over left and right. And I heard someone say, and I heard someone say, ever since he had the baby, he seems to have gotten soft.
What kids do to you? Man, that sleep deprivation from newborns that's a thing.
Yeah, and shout out to Michael Porter Jr., man. Like he woke up. And he's just draining.
He finally didn't have to hear stories about his brothers committing like crimes and shit.
Yeah,
He's got 3 brothers. All of them are in jail.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. In this specific case, I'd be okay with cutting off family ties. I'm usually not a big fan of cutting off family ties. In this case, cut them loose, bud.
Yeah.
You are a corporation, and they are a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's playing a lot better. So
Well, the whole Denver team has been playing a lot better, and that's why I said game three, Minnesota going back home up 2-0. As you know, if you want to say, "Hey, I'm a champion," that's a game you need to win. You need to
yeah,
basically not give them any hope, because Denver, to BJ's point from how we started this conversation, you give them a chance, they're a champion. They will show you why they're champions. And last night, Boston showed me why they're not going to be champions. There was no reason in hell that game against Cleveland last night should have been close.
No Donovan Mitchell?
No Donovan Mitchell.
No Donovan Mitchell. So like 80% of their offense is on the bench.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Boston couldn't even cover the spread. Couldn't even cover the initial spread before Mitchell was out.
There's a reason Adam's a touch butthurt about that. I'm sure all of you know by now why Adam's butthurt about that not covering the spread. Why I am also butthurt about not covering the spread.
Fuck Karis LeVert. So, anyways.
Well, it didn't really matter.
He's a
because
Michigan guy. You turn on your Michigan guy?
Hey,
Wow.
it's all about that bread, cheese, and
It's
dough.
all about the dollar. Go blue, but fuck you.
There's a couple times in the regular season of football where I was like, "You fucking Cowboys, you." Damn it.
Oh shit that got real. Oh, I can't wait to finish football season.
Yeah, you can, because I'm still playing. Hey, we need to unite against your brother.
Oh. Well, he said he's coming. He said that he's definitely coming back for a repeat. Is what he told him.
Ain't
I talked to him
happening.
like 2 weeks ago.
Ain't happening. Too many heavy hitters.
It's gonna be fun. But yeah.
So,
So tell me this. So let's say, I mean, obviously we know that the Celtics more likely are going to beat the Cavs. Do you think that they're going to struggle against the Knicks in the finals? I mean, in the Eastern Conference finals?
If the Knicks pull through, obviously they're going to win tonight. They're up by 20 with a minute and a half in the third. If the Knicks win this series, I think the Knicks are a worse matchup against Boston than Indiana is, because the Knicks play defense and they will beat the crap out of you. I think Boston will win. I think they're gonna hate life afterwards, but I think Boston's gonna win probably 4-1.
is Boston 2-1 right now?
They're 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah. I can see it, honestly. Yeah, I can see it going 4-2. I can see the Knicks taking 2.
Yeah, because as we've seen, Boston just, for whatever reason, just does not play game 2 of series. And it's not just a this year thing. It's been going on since Brown and Tatum have been there. They just
Hey, I saw this great meme about Jason Tatum. It says he is the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's. I was like, I don't know if I've ever heard Jason Tatum described more perfectly than that one sentence right there. He is the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris. That meme was spot on. I got to start remembering who to credit these memes to.
so that one I can give you who said that one, because I actually heard that. That was Bill Simmons on his podcast. He was the one that said it first.
Good job, Bill Simmons. You nailed that one.
It's hilarious. Oh
Good
man.
job, Bill Simmons.
Dang, Tobias.
No,
Is that more of a shot to Tobias or to Jason Tatum?
That's more of a shot to Tatum.
I'm not good. That's a spray and pray thing. That's everybody. All of you are getting.
Hey, again, equal opportunity.
Yeah, I am shooting everybody. That was basically like a Family Guy South Park situation there. I will kill all of you.
Damn.
Excellent.
Yeah. What?
I was going to say, Tatum has not been right in the playoffs since he had 100 turnovers a couple of years ago in the playoffs.
Well, he's Michael Jordan and Tobias Harris.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Do you think he has PTSD from the Warriors for that series?
Yes. I think somebody ran the numbers. His 3-point shooting, which was never really been good, is like in the 20s since that series
Oh wow.
in the playoffs. Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
So,
Wow.
but don't worry, Boston has him and Brown tied up for the next 4 years.
If they don't win it this year, should they look to trade one of the two?
You need a
Yeah.
partner.
Who's gonna give up what they think they're worth?
Yeah,
Phoenix Suns?
maybe.
Derp.
He's like,
Oh wait, they don't have any draft picks.
yeah. So, I mean, I say this to all the Magic fans on the message boards. They're like, we should make this trade. We should make that trade. I'm like,
With what?
with whom?
What assets do we have?
Yeah.
Joe Ingles? Markel Fultz?
Gary Harris?
I don't know. I like Markel, but we salvaged him. It's not like he was a commodity.
No, like I think they traded 2 second-round draft picks for him.
Yeah, which is like a couple gift certificates for value meals, basically in the NBA.
Yeah, and so yeah, so the Magic did him a solid. They brought him in. They revitalized his career. He does have trade value. It's not a lot, but he does have trade value now.
It's nothing that's going to acquire talent.
No, and honestly, like the highest paid player on the Magic's roster right now, it's still Jonathan Isaac.
Wow.
Sore subject.
Yeah. But to your point, Dorian, like if Boston doesn't win it this year, I don't know when they ever will.
Yeah. They're winning it this year. The champs in the Western Conference.
Yeah. And Denver's still out there.
Yeah.
And shit, Denver's like the Borg from Star Trek. They'll assimilate you. They're just like, oh, this is what you're doing. Okay, we will adapt and move on.
Yeah. So, as a Magic fan, right? For those out there, when you see Aaron Gordon like have good games with Denver, do you like think to yourself like did we fuck it up as far as
no, we fucked it up. He was not used properly. He's not a 1. He's a really solid 3.
Yeah.
And I guess my question is, yes, we tried the Magic tried to make him more than he was, but also would he be doing this on any other team that doesn't have Jokic?
Yeah, I think he's a solid 3 in the NBA period.
That's fair.
I think if there's a couple other scorers and a really solid playmaker passer, he'd been okay. But in Orlando, they were just trying to heap too much on him.
Yeah, and that's my fear. What they're going to do with Payo is if they don't get him help, it's going to be the same exact thing. Just put too much on his shoulders. Now, Banchero is a 1, but he needs help. Hell, Luka needs help.
Yeah. Although PJ Washington's been, I mean, he's been pretty solid. But like as far as help, do you think that he need another scorer, or does he need like someone on the defensive side that can like take his matchups?
He needs someone that's going to take away the star defender from the other team, and that's what Kyrie was supposed to be.
Right.
But it was funny. I had the Dallas game on last night, and my wife was sitting down and watching it, and they were showing a montage of Luka just falling, like and busting his ass, and she was like, "He falls a lot," and I'm like, "That's Luka." Now a lot of it, some of it's flopping, some of it's just him just being clumsy and overweight, and some is just him going too fast and his body can't keep up.
So in that series, for the Mavs to win, what do you say that they need to do?
Cover SGA and don't let him score 35 a game.
That's easier said than done, bro.
You asked the question.
I'll tell you,
There's no answer for.
The Thunder have to be right up there with the Timberwolves as far as up and coming teams.
Yes.
Yeah,
They should be hell the next couple of years.
yeah,
The way they work the draft and the way they work their picks and acquiring talent, and man, it might take a while for the team to develop, but their system works. Whatever system they use, the way they acquire draft picks and acquire talent throughout the draft and limited free agent signings, they know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, well, and let's look at the 8 teams that are left. Okay, you touched on the Thunder. They've built from within. They know how to draft. They know how to develop. And that is a solid team. That's going to be a solid team for a while.
That's how you beat the cap.
Yeah, Minnesota's the same way. Now, granted, they did make the Gobert trade, but pretty much everyone else has grown with that team. Conley came in several years ago. The Nuggets are pretty much all homegrown. They've had a couple, free agent signings here and there, but nothing spectacular. The Knicks were a bunch of cast-offs. Literally, Jalen Brunson, their star, his other team didn't want. Indiana, Halliburton's their star, and the team that drafted him was like, "Hey, you go over there. We'll take Sabonis's grandson." Boston, for all their faults, they're homegrown. It shows that you can and you should build your team internally. You don't need a big splashy free agent sign. You sure as hell don't need to mortgage your future with trading away all your draft picks for one player, Phoenix.
Damn, Phoenix. Or like the Clippers, I know they regret trading SGA. They got to. They have to. He was supposed to be their future.
BJ, was it you that posted the Clippers trade, what they gave up for Paul George?
Oh, you mean that laundry list of trade assets and players and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about as long as my forearm. Like multiple years of first round picks going into 2026, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes. Yes, I posted that because I was amazed. I was amazed that there's one little name on the left-hand side and then a paragraph on the right-hand side.
Well, they had to make the name bigger so like it could actually
Yeah, I know. So that your screen didn't tip over when you brought it up on the screen. I just couldn't believe that's how you lose over time.
Yeah.
That you were going to lose over time, or now Steve Ballmer is going to have to stay in the luxury tax for several years to keep his team competitive. The Clippers are the exact opposite of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep.
And I like Steve Ballmer. I like his enthusiasm. I like the fact that he took a shit franchise and is trying to turn it into something, wonderful. He's definitely going about it the wrong way. I feel like he's getting caught up in the Hollywood, Los Angeles feel where you have to have the name and sell the tickets as opposed to putting a product out there. Because they could have gone the Thunder route right now and they'd be dogging the Lakers. They'd be dogging them in their own city.
Well, and I think Ballmer is the personification of what we're seeing throughout different industries. You have a guy at the top who pulls all the strings, who has no idea what it takes to be successful in the industry and does not want to relinquish control. Because you look at the Thunder. I couldn't even tell you who owns the Thunder, but I could tell you who the GM is. So, you don't have to know everything about the industry, but you have to hire the right people and let them do their job. Boston's the same way. I forget who owns the Celtics, but Brad Stevens is their GM. And before that, it was Danny Ainge. These guys know what they're doing. And yes, Boston's gone through a couple coaching changes. One was abrupt for reasons. But that's also part of it, is they keep the same head coach. They don't fire a coach after 2 years, or one if you're the Lakers. Because, what happened to Phoenix was absolutely 100% Frank Vogel's fault.
Somebody has to be the fall guy.
Yeah, because it absolutely could not be the fact that you overpay your 3 stars who don't complement each other and you have no money for anything else. that could not be the problem. It has to be the head coach.
Yeah. So what's the score now of the game? Is it over with yet?
It's not over. Last I saw, it is 101-86.
Yeah, it's called Watch Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching train wrecks tonight, you might as well go find another one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, also in our group chat, I posted something, and me and BJ kind of disagreed a little bit. But Dorian, I'll ask you because you never weighed in because you don't care about our group chat apparently. The
Son of a bitch, firing shots.
So
somebody from my job maybe listen to this, they'd be like, "What is Dorian really doing?" But,
so the past 5 number 1 draft picks of the NBA: Zion, Ant, Cade Cunningham, Polio, Wemby. Rank them 1 through 5.
Not as easy as it looks.
Okay, so I asked this question first. So if we're gonna rank them from 1 to 5, all right, which player in their rookie year had the most immediate impact?
Wemby.
That counts for me. Then 2, who's been consistent? Well, I can't say who's been consistent because
We don't have proof on that yet.
Yeah, we don't have proof of it.
This is what BJ's right. It's not as easy as you think it is.
No, I sat there and I stared at it for a while before. I didn't even respond, actually. Adam ranked his, and then I just told Adam what my opinion was against his rankings.
Yeah.
It's difficult because okay, when Zion, did the Pelicans make the playoffs no, they didn't make the playoffs his rookie year because he got hurt, I believe, towards the end of his
No, I don't
year.
think Zion has played a playoff game.
That's right.
Playing tournaments don't count.
That is true. So you can't remember.
So only 2 of them have played in the playoffs.
And that's Paulo and Ant. Okay, so projection?
No, rank them. Use whatever criteria you want. Rank them 1 through 5.
I'm gonna say for me number 5 because I'm gonna shit. This is hard. This is really hard because I'm thinking like talent wise, overall like overall talent, like Cade is special, man. Like he can he could be a point guard, shooting guard, small forward. He could be whatever he wants to be. Ant can too, but Cade is 6'8"
and drowning.
Yeah,
and drowning in Detroit.
Yeah. So if you take him and put him on another team with some key players, he can definitely be. Man, this is definitely hard. Okay, all right, I'm gonna do it. Number 1, I'm gonna say right now Anthony Edwards.
Sure.
Right now.
Okay.
That's universal, I think.
Yeah, all 3 of us have said Ant was number 1.
Yeah. Number 2, I may sound like a homer, but I'm gonna say Paulo. Number 2.
I'm not saying he can't be, but this year, in my opinion, Wembanyama is only going to get more experience and stronger.
Right. He was my 3rd. I put Wemby at 3.
So Dorian and I had the same 1 through 3, and I explained in the group chat. So I only had Polio above Wemby slightly because Polio's been doing it literally twice as long. So, and he's the only guy 22 or under to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists for a season. Now, I'm not saying that Wemby can't do that or Wemby won't do that because he probably will. It may not be 22 and under, but Bonchero's been doing it just a little bit longer. The sample size is just slightly bigger. That's the only reason I had him over Wemby. But BJ's right. Wemby, this is his rookie year. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get more athletic. And so,
and the experience.
Yeah.
Once he gets used to playing with these guys, and then they put a little more talent around him. Yeah. That guy's nuts. It's not unreasonable to think within the next year or two, Wemby could be one on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Wemby is scary because he has guard handles. He's like
Rick Smith's height.
Yeah. He's like Kevin Durant.
No, he's 5 inches taller than Kevin Durant.
Right, but he can shoot like Kevin Durant. He can block better than Kevin Durant. Like he can block shots like Gobert. He's like a freak of nature, literally.
He's only
going to get stronger.
He's a pretty solid passer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's Jokic level, but he's definitely a solid passer for a big man. And that's no slight to anybody else on this list.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year we're talking about Anthony and Wembanyama 1 and 2 interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope Paolo's right behind him.
Yeah.
If I were the Magic, I'd try to sell the farm for Cade Cunningham. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'd take my shot.
Oh man. That would be.
I'd take my shot.
So question. I'll add this to BJ because I think I know what AK is going to say. So would you trade, if you're the Magic, would you trade Franz for Cade?
What kind of question is that?
Straight up right now?
Are you trying to get us smoked on Reddit?
Straight up.
Absolutely.
What about you, AK? Would you make that trade?
Yeah. Straight up, yes. Now, if I had to throw in like draft picks or whatnot, then it'd be a conversation. But if it's straight up Franz for Cade?
No. Cade's a better ball handler and scorer.
Well, and Franz is not a guard.
No, we need guard help. We got forwards. Yeah. Say we like I'm on the team. You know. But the Magic need guard help.
Yeah.
And they need a big man.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I've watched these Magic Facebook pages. It's an unpopular opinion. You know I don't give a shit about expressing unpopular opinions. Bring Dwight back. Just bring him back. Stick him in the middle. Let him play defense. As long as he's not demanding the ball 20 times a game, put him down there.
And I think this age in his career, he would understand that.
Yeah, you aren't just going to drive to the basket on 40-year-old Dwight Howard, much less 30-something-year-old Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if he comes in and gives you like 25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
As long as it's a reasonable contract number, you aren't just the penetration will stop at Dwight Howard. Yeah. And that probably was a bad phrasing for a Dwight Howard.
Because Dwight's not stopping penetration.
He's not stopping any penetration. Jeez. Oh, God. Phrasing.
That was a good one.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, shit. Anyways, there'll be less driving through the lane. With
you're not gonna take it to the hole. Oh wait.
Well, no, see, I thought about that, and I went back to the thesaurus in my brain. And was like, no, we need more words. You're not just going to walk down the lane with Dwight Howard.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
You sure not? Because Dwight will give you that D.
He will punish your ass. And punish your ass.
We can't. Okay, sorry guys, we cannot help ourselves.
Don't care if you don't like it. Turn it off.
Like that one interview when he was at the Hawks, he was like, "Yeah, man, man, I gave some real good D tonight, you know." I'm like,
I'm sure you did.
He probably told one of his friends, "Hey, watch this.
Yeah,
watch this post-game interview."
Yeah, yeah. I gave good D. I blocked balls. Everything go out.
I'm done.
I really didn't do that intentionally. And then Dorian had to come back and do all of it intentionally. I need
Damn,
it to be
Dwight.
known that
That's
that was
all I'm
not
gonna
my.
say. Damn, Dwight.
No, but yes, in all seriousness, the Magic need guards, whether they get in free agency. This is not the draft to get guards. This is not really the draft to get anybody. The
Not
my
even Bronny James.
Come on now. Come on now. That'd be equivalent to the Brooks Thompson draft pick back in the 90s.
Shit. Dog.
Hey, dude, the Magic still have the rights to Fran Vasquez.
Hell. You just said Brooks Thompson. Jesus.
Because I can't tell you how mad I was at that draft pick. It stuck with me 20-something years later. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Brooks Thompson? Who is this cracker?
And they tried to sell him to us like, oh, he's a sharpshooter. He's the next.
Yeah, and then couldn't get on the court. I'm like, oh, that's
He's the
great.
next Larry Bird because he's white.
Great. I was hoping the story would come out that he was like a certified alcoholic or something to explain the reason he's not on the court, but there's nothing of the sort. He just never materialized into anything.
So the analysis I've heard of this draft is it's not good. What they were saying was you basically take the normal draft and like cut off the top 8 players and just start at 9. And one guy, I think it was the same podcast that BJ's quote came from. They asked, "Would you trade the number 1 pick for Tobias Harris?"
No, because there's hope. There's hope for that number 1 pick. There's hope. I'll take hope over Tobias Harris. I'm not getting slaughtered by my fan base.
Oh, damn. Is this going to go down as the worst draft in the last 25 years?
Well, okay. So I've heard those comparisons of like, well, it's the worst draft since 2013. Okay, so we went back to the 2013 draft. That was also the Giannis draft. So.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but one player does not make a draft.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, there have been some pretty bad drafts. So
what's the one with like there's a terrible one in the early 2000s.
I think it was the 2000 draft.
It was absolutely
the 2000 draft was not good.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick, just because I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, so here's the 2000 draft. Picks start at 1. Kenyon Martin. Okay. Stromile Swift, Darius Miles, Marcus Fizer, Mike Miller by the Magic, DeMar Johnson, Chris Mem, Jamal Crawford, Joel Prisbilla, Keon Dooling, Eton Thomas, Courtney Alexander, Mateen Cleaves, Jason Collier, Hedo Turkoglu, Desmond Mason, Quentin Richardson, Jamal McGlure, Speedy Claxton.
Wow.
Who's
yes.
all that? That's just bracket those names and say who.
Although we
so
like
you. That class was worse than 2013?
I like Kenyon and Mike Miller. Mike Miller wound up playing a long time, and his back kind of betrayed him.
Yeah. Okay, so the 2013 draft gets trashed because of the number 1 pick, who was not a number 1 pick. And literally, when the pick was made, one of the analysts got fired because he was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" So that had Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo, Otto Porter Jr., Cody Zeller, Alex Lynn, Nolan's Newell, Ben McLemara, KCP, Trey Burke, CJ McCollum, Michael Carter Williams, Steven Adams, Kelly Olynyk, Shabazz Muhammad, Giannis, some guy from Brazil, I can't pronounce his name, Dennis Schroeder, Shane Larkin.
Quit being a pussy. Take a shot at it.
Lucas Nogaria?
Yeah.
Noguera?
Yeah, I remember him.
And we finish off with Tony Snell and Mason Plumlee.
Yeah, so like Steven Adams, Giannis, and Kelly Olynyk are the best 3 in that draft.
Mm-hmm. No Oladipo. No Oladipo.
What's he done?
Yeah.
What's he
So
done?
here's the 2002 draft.
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah. So speaking of injured a lot, here's the 2002 draft. Yao Ming, Jay Williams, Mike Dunleavy Jr., Drew Gooden, Jajon Wagner, Nene, Chris Wilcox, Amari Stoudemire, Karan Butler, Jared Jeffries, Melvin Ely, Marcus Heslip, Fred Jones, Jerry Welsh, Juan Dixon, and the Orlando Magic picked Curtis Barchot. I think is how you pronounce his name. Sure.
Wow.
There've been some stinkers. And yeah, I think what makes this draft stand out is there is not a clear-cut number one. Normally, like even if it's a bad draft, normally the draft like drops off at 3, and there's a clear number one. There is not a clear number one this year. Doesn't saying there's not going to be good players. It's just not a good clear number one.
I remember when the Magic selected Gerald Sasser.
Do we have to go through all the Orlando Magic's failings? Like,
No.
I can't do this.
We
tonight.
only have an hour and a half.
It hurts my chest.
It was like one of those what the fuck moments, man.
Because if you want to start with the Magic failings, you can just go with John Koncak, and we can just end the conversation there.
Hold on, we drafted him?
No, we paid his ass a massive contract because we thought that he was going to be a backup to Shaq.
And I believe we paid Michael Doliak too, right? Because Michael Doliak was the center right before I think T-Mac came.
Oh my god! I just the fucking the collection of mediocre basketball talent that Tracy McGrady had to deal with.
Yeah.
Pat Garrity, Michael Doliak, Daryl Armstrong,
Bo Outlaw.
Look, you say what you want about Bo. Bo gave everything every night.
He did.
Yeah.
So you need a guy like that on your team. And had Bo been on another team with different circumstances, Bo would have been more celebrated than he is because he was on the Magic when they were struggling. But Bo gave everything, and he did anything. The only thing he couldn't do was shoot.
Yeah.
Hustle, rebound, play defense, run the floor. I mean, I got a soft spot in my heart for Bo Outlaw.
Okay. So in 1989, the Orlando Magic signed John Koncak. Okay. So it was actually before Shaq. So they signed him to a 6-year, $13 million contract, which $2 million a year, like today's money, is like nothing. At the time, here are the people he made more than: Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird.
That is crazy. That is fucking insane. John Koncak.
So you want to talk about the Orlando Magic failings? We can start and end the conversation there.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, there are some good players in this draft. Realistically, the Magic probably should just sell the pick. Hey, just pay us $800,000.
Take the best shooter available. Take the best shooter available.
Yeah.
If they can't trade it and tie it to somebody to get a decent player, just take the best shooter available, because that's what they need, is somebody that can knock down shots. And I don't even mean 3-point shooter. I mean
just
shooter.
shoot.
Period. Just 15 feet and out.
Yeah. Just something to spread the defense out.
Absolutely. Give Powell a little room to operate, open up things for Franz a little bit. And then they have to go on a mission to find defensive help.
Yep.
In the middle. The perimeter defense of the Orlando Magic is borderline second to none. So, but as far as the paint, that's where the issue lies. And at the very least, they got to bring Dwight back. If they don't do that, they have to do something else. They have to make a move.
I liked kind of somebody who said like Tyus Jones, Malik Mill, Nick Claxton. That's your shopping list.
Mm-hmm.
I would like them to pursue Malik Monk or Buddy Hield.
Again, just somebody who can shoot.
Buckets. A guy that can give you 25, 30 if needed,
Yeah.
but can consistently give you 20.
Yeah. Realistically, I know I've said this before. If they get a guy at starting two guard that averages 18 points a game, which is average, they're winning 55 games next year. Gary Harris was the worst starting shooting guard in the league in terms of points per game. He averaged 7.
Didn't Paolo average 27 in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That's with no room.
Yeah.
That's with no room to operate.
No room going against a good defensive team in Cleveland with two big defensive players.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what he can do if we can just alleviate some of that tension. If you can't, if you're not a threat in this league in this day and age to hit 3-pointers, you're losing.
Yep.
The fact that the Magic made it as far as they did without being able to shoot the three at a consistent rate is borderline a miracle.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to remember, they're probably just at the tip off of the game. If the team that's playing them is average, the Magic are probably down by 12 points to start the game.
So in terms of just 3-point shooting, they were 25th in the league
Out of 28,
out of 32.
32, no bueno. Not for a playoff team. Not for a playoff team.
No.
Is there a playoff team around them?
The playoff team that's around them is no. Yeah.
That has to be remedied.
The next team on the list that made the playoffs, not the play-in, but
16?
the playoffs, was Cleveland at 16.
That's what I was thinking, middle of the road. So we've proven through stats analysis and paying attention that paint defense and perimeter scoring
Yep.
are the two crucial things for the Orlando Magic.
And that's what I mean. If they can just raise their points per game by 7 or 8, even if their defense suffers a little bit because they trade scoring for defense and they give up 2 more points per game, that's still a net game of 5 points per game. That's a 55-win team because they won 47 this year. That's competition for the 2 seed. That's first round in the playoffs for home court in the first round, home court in the second round, and who knows about the conference finals. That's where this team can go. And realistically, we are seeing where they could go right now with Oklahoma City and with Minnesota. There is no reason why the Magic can't do that. Now, the reason why they can't is they're the Orlando Magic, but there's no reason why they can't use that model. So I do want to, before we get to our Florida Man segment, I do want to touch on, I know we touched on it earlier, but just how bad Boston looks. Like, they looked disinterested. And they've looked disinterested the entire playoffs. Have you ever seen a team that's favored to win the championship that looked so disinterested and just not care?
It's tough. So I'll say this. I really do believe that Jaylen Brown's starting to grow tired of Tate, because there was a play to where Jason Tatum, he was driving to the basket, the ball went off his foot, and then he kind of looked at Jaylen Brown's kind of like, "Hey man, my bad," and Jaylen Brown just shook his head and just kept going the other way. Because after a while, when you start playing with a person, and it's like, I got history with this person, but we should be a lot further along. We should have at least 2 championships. You know, at least 2, if not one. And we don't have any because the one that we were favored to win, this other guy that's supposed to be an alpha dog on the team, had all these turnovers, shit like that. So I'm thinking that like it could be more so like, Jaylen Brown maybe start realizing, hey man, like if we don't get it done this year, one of us got to go.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, those contracts are locked in for at least 3 years for both of them. Ain't no one going to trade for it. So you make the bed, you sleep in it. If you shit in that same bed, well, that's just on you.
Yeah.
Sorry. You are the product of your own decisions.
That's gonna be pretty tough, man. But
Now they brought in Porzingis to hope that he would make a change, but
yeah.
they brought in an asset that's often injured, and lo and behold, he's injured again.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Is he coming back for the? I was told that he should to make to the Eastern Conference Finals that he should be.
He's projected to come. He is projected to come back May 29th. So if they make the conference finals, which they should, he should play by game 3. And honestly, if I'm Boston and I'm playing either Indiana or New York, I'm not playing him because I can beat either one of those teams without him. I am letting him rest as much as possible. I am not having him get beat up by the Knicks. I am not having him just run up and down the court against the Pacers and possibly tweak something.
Right. Right. Because if they're to come out of the East, and if they're going to win a couple of games against Denver wins their side, they're going to need Porzingis. They're going to need that height.
Yeah, they're going to need that bulk. They'll go against Jokic. That's what they're going to need.
Right. But I don't think Porzingis can bang with Jokic though.
No. I don't know. I don't think so. Doesn't feel like he can handle it.
Right.
Jokic is sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with Jokic, he does not get tired.
Looks like he should.
Yeah. He looks like he's out of shape. He looks like me if I grew a foot and a half.
No, I know. He looks like if he goes up a flight of stairs, he needs a chair, but he doesn't.
I know. They're just built different in Serbia, apparently.
Did you see that pass he made to Aaron Gordon the other night?
Yes.
Spin move, fade, and then passed it around the defender and throwing a cheap little dunk out of it. I was like, what do you do with that?
You can't
do that. Handcuff him. That's all you can do.
Well, I remember. Go ahead.
No, I just feel like he's this generation's Larry Bird.
Well, you cannot stop him.
He's not. You can't stop him. He can't outrun you. He can't jump over you. And here he is making all these passes, all kinds of crazy passes, by the way. Shooting over the top of you, shooting over his head, which is 6'11", makes the ball almost untouchable. He's very skilled, and he just keeps coming.
Yeah. And that was saying that game 4 felt like the game 4 of an NBA Finals. The way those two teams were going at it, it was insane. And Minnesota probably blew the series in that 20-second sequence at the end of the first half. You know, I texted you guys in the group chat like, "Holy crap!" And BJ was like, "What I miss?" And showed it to him, was like, "Damn."
Yeah, they brought Rebirth Island back to Call of Duty and Warzone. So I've been slacking. I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you know these asshole developers at Activision, you better play it while it's on the playlist.
Yep.
Bastards.
Yep. Oh, you know, in EA, you're like, we're going to be very thoughtful about putting ads in our games. We're thoughtful about putting ads in all of our games.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've been playing Madden since 2000, 99, 2000. I'll retire that shit so quick.
Yeah.
if you don't put it on the stadium, if you don't put it on the jumbotron while I'm playing the game, I'm gonna be pissed. If you stop the game to show me an ad,
My guess is it's probably going to be a loading screen because there's no loading screens anymore. They're probably going to put
Yeah.
those back in. That's where the ads are going to be.
yeah, assholes. That's what they are.
Yep. EA College Football 25 brought to you by Dr. Pepper. You know, you're going to get a Fansville commercial during the game that you're playing.
Why can't they just let things be? We already pay $70 for the fucking game. You can't just let it happen. You can't just let it. We're giving you $70. We're giving you $70 for 12 months of questionable gameplay.
Especially if you're playing Call of Duty.
Oh, please. The only reason I don't complain so much is because the game's fucking free. That's it. I play Warzone. I play Warzone more than anything. I play multiplayer just to level my guns up. But other than that, that fucking Warzone, I tell you, that'll make you angry. The audio in that game is. Have you played Warzone lately?
I have not played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2.
The audio is broken.
Because they don't care.
Of all the things to break, the audio, footsteps, the only thing I need to hear in the game, I can't hear.
Yeah.
I got a $100 headset. Is it the most expensive? No. Is it the cheapest? No. It's good enough. I can't hear footsteps.
Now, Call of Duty is not made here, but you know what is? Madden. It's made right down the street. They actually recruited me coming out of college.
Really?
Yeah. And they were talking, I was talking to some of the guys that work there. They're like, yeah, it's not uncommon for us to work 16 hours a day, 5 days a week for 6 months to get a game out. I'm like, nope.
No.
So they legit have a parental leave policy. If your wife gets pregnant, you get a year off. Now, they will tell you, the executives will tell you that, we care about our employees. We care, the family bonding. What the developers will tell you is because they know no one's going to take advantage of it because you ain't home to have sex with your wife. And if your wife is getting pregnant while you're working on Madden, you might want to have a different conversation.
Yeah. Damn.
So, Florida man it is.
Florida man.
I'm ready.
So, BG, you got a Florida man story for us?
No, I don't. I was hoping you would. I could just kind of expand on that. Expand on that. That's what I was hoping.
Oh, okay.
It's been a crazy week. I just want to apologize for my lack of preparedness.
So
I'm hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, I think we all are. But not Florida man, but still in the news. The kicker for Kansas City, Harrison Bucker, was given a commencement speech at a college. I want to say it was in New York. Why he was given the commencement speech, I don't know. But he was basically saying, hey, good job on everyone. Women, get back in the kitchen. It's like, damn.
Wow. You really want to be canceled, Buck? Really? That's fucking crazy. So, is he from Florida?
I don't know. I was just trying to have content. I know our dumbass governor wants to ban lab-grown meat, which isn't even a thing right now, but he wants to ban it because he's scared of his own shadow, like Punxsutawney Phil is.
I can't believe you said that. I just.
I mean, it wasn't like it was a podcast. It was an interview. It was kind of kickback. No, this is a college commencement speech.
True.
Like, dude.
I don't know, man. You don't run this by people. Like, if I'm going to talk in front of 15 people, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Adam, you got 10 minutes? I'm gonna read something to you."
Yeah.
Like, can you just listen to it real quick for me?
Like, do I sound okay? Do I need to take a pause? Like, all of this. It happens. No one went aside of him, dude, take that line out. But that's the world we live in today. You think you can say whatever you want, and if you're rich enough, you can. So
I just don't know why people feel the need to say these things in public. If you want, if you want to say them, like say it to your family and see how they react.
well, they probably agree with them.
Yeah, so keep it there.
Yes.
Keep it with your fan club. I just don't know. I think the collective IQ of this country is taking a nosedive, and I don't know if it's savable.
I don't know if it's taken a nosedive or if there's just if the bottom rung has just grown. Like I think the IQ of the top rung has increased. I think the IQ of the middle piece has increased. I think we just have more at the bottom, and because they vote to defund education, they don't learn how to critically think.
Idiots.
Yes. And they see something on social media and think, well, it's on the internet, it must be true.
No.
Because if they read it in a book, it must be true. That's what they said about that little special book that they have.
I don't know. I was talking to my landlord today about how partisan things have become and how it's not even really anybody's beliefs. It's just a system of separating and dividing the country so they can do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And my thing is we've always been divided. Literally since this country has been formed, we've been divided. That's why we had to have a compromise. That's why
there's been some measure of common sense, though.
Yes. Now, granted, yes, when the country was formed, the compromise would basically take a person and make them 3/5 of a person, but different conversation. But I think now with social media and the way social media is run, it's all about engagement, and you are more engaged when you're angry than when you're happy, and they have proven that. And so that's how these companies make their money, is they keep you engaged, they keep you angry, they keep you coming back. And it's just, it feeds whatever belief you want. They know you better than you know yourself, and they will feed you stuff to keep you coming back. And it's like, well, AI is gonna save the world. No, it's not.
It's a drug.
It is a drug.
And I think that's what they don't. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. And, the 2016 election is what really opened my eyes, and that's why I kind of checked out of the 2020 election. If I were to like unblock my past posts and let you look at them, and you decide to sit down one afternoon and go all the way back to 2016 and work your way to 2020, not only would your eyes bleed, but you'd also realize that I checked out about early 2020. I was like, I see what you're doing now. I don't want to play with this shit anymore. They want me to be mad at Trump or mad at Biden.
Yeah.
And it's also a distraction tactic. They want us so focused on that they can't see that the corporations are robbing us blind, and that individuals aren't paying their proper amount of taxes, and that the real problem is them and not what we have going on between us. And the conquer and divide is a real thing.
I was telling Dorian before we started that the upcoming generation, I hate them for doing it because I'm part of the ones that they're going against, but I respect them for what they're doing. They are starting to see what is really going on. They're starting to see the game for what it is. They're not caught in what's going on. And they're going like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Look, 4 companies own 80% of the world's stuff. No, not a good idea. And you know what? I can get more money working over there, so I'm going to. I am just a number to you, so F y'all, pay me or I'm leaving. So I do have hope that things will get better. I don't think it's going to be in my lifetime. I think for my kids will actually start to see improvement. What worries me the most is that it's going to take something unbelievably catastrophic. I mean, something that kills more than 3% of the world's population to
Like
really
Skynet?
what?
Skynet?
Oh no, Skynet's not it. So I joke with people, that where AI is today, and AI is nowhere near where they say it is going to be.
Yeah, some of the sentences they produce and some of the images they produce, it's like you haven't figured out that humans don't have 6 fingers yet.
So I made the comment about where AI is today and where it's being sold today. So yes, AI is being sold as that it's Skynet, it's gonna take over the world, and I said no, it's basically the GW AI from Metal Gear Solid 2.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw's face with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock. I need scissors. 61.
So yeah, it will eventually get there. It's not there now. My fear is the people that are selling AI now are going to ruin the industry for 20 years because
I
you've
want
got
it to fail. I don't like it's how it's being used to force things down our throat.
yeah. Well, I think it's funny that I joke that I am powered by AI. I am.
We all are.
No, because like I have proof. See this little pod here, thingy here that delivers my medicine? This company will tell you that this is powered by AI. And I'm like, how?
Oh, you're gonna grow a dick out of your arm.
They're like, well, it learns, and it's like, so it does analytics? Well, that's artificial intelligence. No, that's analytics, you dipshit. And I think I posted it on our social media page. It's like, I will trust AI when it tells me who I should pick in my fantasy football draft. Until then, I don't care.
Give me an idea. So I can beat that fucker right there.
You don't understand. You don't understand. The fact, do you know what that does to my ego that you have to use an outside source? You have no idea. That's a win right there. I've already won the fantasy football season. I've already won. And like that's what Zoe doesn't understand. By colluding with other people to try to beat me and still losing, do you know what that does to me? Do you have any idea what that does to me? Like you stop people from trading with me and you still can't beat me.
Dorian needs to have ChatGPT tell him what players to pick.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what God feels like. But I think it's like this. I think it's like this. I mean, just think about what you said though. You are going to talk to a computer and beg them to tell you how to beat me. Zoe is going to make phone calls to several different people and text messages to stop them from trading with me in an attempt to beat me. Truth of the matter is, if he focused on his own paper instead of my paper, he might beat me.
You guys are always gonna have a feud.
I don't get it. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't. I have no ill will towards Zoe whatsoever.
Well, here's the problem.
I'm competitive with him, but I think it drives him nuts that he hasn't beat me in years.
So here's the problem: is that saying Zoe and BJ have a feud is like saying the Commanders and the Cowboys have a feud. It's not a feud if one team keeps beating the other every time.
But this is the thing, though. I appreciate that, Adam. That's also my ego is full. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't carry it over into like the personal arena. You know what I mean? Like, I had a couple bad years against him in fantasy football. It didn't change how I talked to him. I don't get it. I don't know what I did, but it's entertaining at the very least. It's entertaining. Once you confirmed my thoughts that he's calling people and being like, "Man, you can't do that trade with him." Yes, thank you.
So yeah, we have one player that's colluding with the rest of the league. You got one player using ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever the hell he wants to use, and BJ's still the champion using knowledge.
This guy.
So again, until AI can accurately predict fantasy football properly, I ain't gonna worry about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Last year, I wouldn't call it knowledge. They let you guys, whoever drafted 6 picks in front of me, let Tyreek Hill fall to 7, and then he proceeded to have one of the best wide receiver fantasy football years in a long time. Um, After that, it was all reactionary. I tried to do best player available. And I told myself, and it's so hard to do this for me, um, I wasn't picking a quarterback till like 7 or 8. And it's very hard for me to do that. I don't know how it is for you guys, but to hold out that long and watch these names fly off the board, I'm just like, start to get a little, my chest. But I hold out, like sitting here biting fingernails, like, please let Kirk Cousins be there. like no, but I mean that's what it gets to. It's like, give me Dak or Kirk, somebody please be there. And but yeah, I don't know. I got you know how fantasy football is. There's definitely luck sprinkled into this. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I'm not the end all be all of fantasy football. Please, if anybody's listening, that's not the case, and I know it. There's definitely luck. I mean, these guys could tear their ACL at any minute.
Absolutely.
And I had a very healthy fantasy football team last year. Thankfully, knock on the desk here, and that plays into it as much as anything. And then the waiver wire, I picked up Achan, and he had like 3 weeks of greatness, 2 weeks.
And then he got hurt.
And he got hurt, but it stopped other people from having him.
That-
And that's another thing too. That's one of my favorite things about fantasy football. I try to keep a roster spot open for fuck you. So I can pick that guy up and put him on my roster and let him rot the whole fantasy football season at the bottom of my roster. Scoring 15 points on my bench.
In the one fantasy football league that I actually won, what won me that league last year was somebody, I don't know who the fuck it was. They decided to drop Puka Nakua because he had one bad game. I went sold. That just propelled me right through the whole league.
Dude dropped Puka for a bad game.
Yes.
This guy's dropping 30, and this guy's like, he had a bad game. I give up.
He dropped his ass. At first, I was like, this shit ain't real. Like, somebody made a mistake.
Did you drive to wherever he was and laugh in his face?
No, but what I did was I made sure that I took a picture with the certificate that they some fake certificate that he had. So I took a picture of it and sent it to him. Like, thank you. You are the reason why I won this league. He was like, oh, whatever, asshole. But he dropped Puka Nakua. I'm like, man, I thought it was unreal. I'm like, and that's the thing. I was like, you know, and here's the thing. You know what? Our fantasy football league prepares me for other leagues that I just fucking run through because our league is so competitive. We don't let shit slide. You gotta be on that waiver wire like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning to make sure that you get that person you need. So
I believe it's that guy over there that says steel sharpens steel. So
yeah.
It does.
So real quick, I know we're talking about fantasy football. So Jared Goff got his contract extension with the Lions.
Yeah.
Deservedly so. He played well, played better than my expectations. What does the 4 years for 212 mean for Dak and mean for Tua?
You better get to either a Super Bowl or get to a AFC NFC championship.
I'm telling you, Tua was exposed the end of the year in the playoffs.
Yep.
If you disrupt his timing, he is subpar. He can't see over his linemen, and he doesn't have the arm strength to make it up on the fly.
And the question has always been, if you get rid of Tua or you get rid of Dak, who are you bringing in?
Oh.
So I mean,
Dak's going.
Yeah, well, Dak may not go anywhere, but he's going to want more than Goff.
Yeah.
The rumor is he wants $60 million a year.
I really thought the Cowboys was gonna, if they didn't get a defensive end, they were gonna get Michael Penix.
You just like saying his name.
I mean, Big Spanish anything.
It just rolls onto your tongue or off your tongue. Sorry.
Okay, Dwight.
But anyway, but there's
Yeah, nice try.
yeah,
Nice.
no, but there's I don't know who else that they'll be able to bring in outside of. I mean, if they decide how to keep Dak, I think they'll work something out. It seems like they always work something out. As soon as we think Dak is leaving, like Jerry Jones and Dak, the Cowboys, they work something out to where he stays for another couple of years. So I think that they'll work something out.
Yeah, because I believe this is the last year of his contract.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. This is the last guaranteed year of his contract.
Mm.
So
Didn't he say the $34 million couldn't feed his family or something like that recently?
was
Dak
that
Prescott?
Dak or was that someone else?
I thought it was that. The 34 mil won't even feed his family or something like that. Well, I can show you how 34 million can feed my family, Jack. You can
Give it to me.
donate
I'll show you
that.
how.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to cut those coupons.
Yeah.
So yeah, now this is the final year of Tua's contract,
Mm.
and that's why I was surprised they didn't pick a quarterback. So, well, gentlemen, I think that'll do it for this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sandlot Sports.